TheFishingKit. Time for another video, and today we are going to be doing part 3 of the Ray Chen special. And today we will be rigging the Uroko jig short. This is a 150 gram model, which is for me very useful for top water tuna. Here, well, shallow water. You know, we're fishing in relatively deep water, like a few thousand meters, sometimes. Sometimes like 300-400 meters, sometimes 200 meters or so. But the fish are generally in the first 80 meters max of water. So we need about 150 gram jigs, and this is pretty much the maximum that we use. Most of the time we do fast jigging, but obviously when they're a bit finicky, slow jigging is the way to go. And Ray has so kindly sent a pink and gold Uroko jig short, which is really, really good. So today we're gonna rig this. Alrighty. Again, thanks so much for doing this, Ray. Ray is from Australia. He lives and works there, and he sent me 4 jigs. 4 of his favorite jigs. One of them is his most favorite, and we're gonna do that later on. Okay, so we're doing these ones first. Actually, this jig is not too common. So if you don't find this in your area, don't kick yourself. Right. Also, these are pretty good jigs. So if you order them for the collection or to use, well worth it. I think because I've used these and the longer ones. All right. So I think the really good thing about this jig is that it's actually lighter to use. There's some jigs that are slim and you think they're light to use, but they're actually heavy. Okay, an example of that would be the Shimano pebble stick. You drop it down deep and then you work it, you'll notice that it actually kind of takes a bit of force to get it to move. This, although similarly shaped, okay, almost the same shape, the profile and all, actually very easy to use because I guess because of the cut here, the flat surface or something, or well, generally this is also the shorter one, but the longer one is actually easier to use and easier on the body. Now, I'm getting old, and whether I like it or not, because of the heart condition, I get tired easily, and you know, these sort of jigs just kind of make it easy for me. Okay, so for this tie, what we're gonna do is we are going to use 7269 hooks from VMC, one of my favorites. All right, so we are going to remember these tuna are at about 80 meters max. Okay, and most of the time we use fast jigs because they're quite active, and then obviously we only use one hook. So it's easier to take things off and all that. Now, for this, I'm going to rig it with 2 hooks, one on each end, which this kind of rigging is also very applicable for guys over at California and other places where regulations dictate that you use 2 hooks. Now, 150 meters, this is good for up to 150 meters using PE2. Okay, we use meters. In the rest of the world, guys, in the US, it's feet. So do the math, it's times 3.3. Now, I have already pre-rigged my assist cord, spliced it with the solid ring. Okay, now the knot is very simple. Okay, so I'm gonna show you, but I'm not gonna do it yet because there's one step that I need to do. Okay, so that, and then you tie a half hitch on the body, okay, and then you do just one. Take your round nose, or sorry, your flat nose pliers, and then you pull this end right here, like so, okay. Get your um, puller, this, like that. Take the flat nose pliers, so you put a small tag there, pull it, and then you'll have pretty much the length that you need, as you can see there. Okay, now I'm not going to do that yet because this is a step that I usually do not do on camera, and I think it's a step that a lot of people should be doing as a habit. Okay, by the way, if you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today, we're rigging this Uroko jig short. The very first thing that you need to do is actually sharpen the hook. Okay, and this is a diamond file, and just make it a habit that while you're doing these, like I should have been doing this a long time ago, but uh, you know, it's something that I kind of skipped doing because I thought people would be doing it, and then I found that people are thinking that these hooks are already very sharp out of the box. So as an example, I'm just gonna touch things up and ensure that each and every single hook that I tie from now on will have this segment. Okay, so this is the file I'm using. It's a diamond file that was 400, and then I'll go 600. If you're in the field, it's probably good to just carry something like this around and feel your hooks. If they are not as sharp as they should be, just a few laps on this and it will be sharp. Okay, so there. Now, since I'm here, since I'm home, I have a number 3000, as you can see there. Okay, so what I could do is actually shine these, because making them polished will make it slide through the meat faster. Okay, so we're minimizing friction basically. So I'm gonna do this again. Diamond will make this step really fast and easy. All right, so there we go. Oh, that's scary sharp. Okay, I'm gonna do the same with this. Okay, when you're tying assist hooks with eyes, it's easier if you're actually tying it like this with the hook point down, and if you're tying with spade heads, it's easier if the hook point is up. Okay, just a heads up there. Now I'm gonna do this just so I don't have to do it later. Okay, I usually do this by hand, so you can see here that it's a kind of an easy operation. It's nothing fancy. Okay, if you were using a that was 400, now I'm using the 600. Okay, so you can see it there, 600. That's the 400. Thanks to AL for this. You can get this in Amazon. They're cheap. They're not expensive at all, but they're very, very useful. There's also other types of files, but with this, at least you have this in your pocket. You know. All right. There we go. Okay, now just need to polish. I only do this when I'm at home, of course, because I don't want to carry around this thing here. But that's exactly how I polish this, guys. So even if it was already as an assist hook, it's very easy to just, again, the more polished it is, the less friction it will have, and the more your penetration power would be. Okay, so okay, we will just focus here. Alrighty, now again, um, easy as pie. Although pie is not that easy, trust me, I tried. Okay, so easiest way I found to do this, especially with short lengths of cord. Okay, put it all the way there, tie like so. Okay, hold on to that edge right there. Okay, take your round nose, flat nose pliers, hold it there. Okay, push it, and then start pulling on this, and basically have this one as your leverage point. Okay, now take your puller, use a smaller one. Okay, like so, while still on the vise, or even when you're just holding it, just tug. Okay, like so. There, now once you pull this, the knot jams onto the hook point, or sorry, the eye, and that's not going to move. But what we'll do is further secure it by binding. Okay, now at this point you have to ask yourself if you want to cover this, or you just leave it as is. Some people like covering this, some people don't. For me, I don't. But what I do is do a really, really good job in tidying this up. Okay, so I will do that. Okay, now as you can see, it is tight, very, very tight. And I will clean up that end right there and make sure to leave no gaps. Okay, now obviously after a few winds you need super glue. This one here, this is a thin formula, so you don't need much. So there we go. And what that does is it'll soak into the thread, the cord, and the shank. I don't put a lot on the knot. Okay, so just like that. Okay, all I'm doing is filling out the gaps. There we go. Now I am going to use your half hitch or your whip finish. You could use a tool as well if you want. Okay, there we go. Now what I usually do is actually take a chopstick and then spread the glue around. Okay, and make sure that it is applied evenly. I don't usually do this. Again, I have to because we're filming and I don't want this wet. But what we're doing here is just accelerating things, right? Now, normally I just put it to the side where there's no air movement, and then it will dry clear without the white residue. Okay, so that's your finished assist hook there. Let's do the other one. There's no particular hook for the front or the back on this. So normally for longer jigs, I would have like a longer back section. But for this, we'll do both even. Okay, again, essential tools. There we go. Okay. Make sure this thing's tight. Okay. You can apply the glue um, just after you put some wraps, or you could put it while there's a few wraps. But make sure you don't do it at the end. Okay. Because the object is for the glue to fuse everything, not to cover. The easiest way is if you apply it before the wraps. It's just easier, you know. You kind of get to move it around too. And for this, as you can see here, if you notice, it's actually kind of dried already. There you go. So, oh, it's on there. It is on there. Okay. Just as an insurance, put a little bit. Spread it around like a merry-go-round. Righty. Now, I have this, right? And when I spray, what happens basically is that the bounce gets the section here at the back when you spray it. So, as you can see there, it's also dry. Okay, now that we have this, let's go ahead and zoom out, and we can see exactly what this thing looks like fully rigged. So we have two load bearing swivels, and I'll take a GP ring. Actually, you know what? I'll put a solid ring. I'll put a solid ring. There we go. I will put a solid ring there. To tell you guys honestly, I don't really put that much swivel on my jigs because I don't want them to spin. And most of the time, it's actually solid rings. Okay, now I'm gonna put a solid ring there. Okay. I'm gonna show you in a bit. Okay, so solid ring there. Okay, split ring, solid ring, and then what I will do is I will put the hooks the back here, this side. Okay, because if you actually let this on its you know, it actually spins back like that. Okay, so the balance, this is the heavy part, this is what points to the sky. So put another split ring there. Okay, we put the back hook first, and then what we do, okay, is make sure that it positions like that. Okay, so that's it right there. Okay, so I always like the hooks to point up. Now this other one. Okay, there we go. All right, now this is how it looks like. There we go. Okay, those hooks won't meet. Now you have a 2 hook rig that's great for surface, well, tuna, you know, up to about 80 meters, 150 max. But that is it. The Uroko jig short. Okay, I don't put flash, although you can, because it's still pretty shallow, and the reflection uh, would still have like an effect. Right, as you can see also, this jig has very little glowing parts, so for the use, that's this jig's perfect. So thank you, Ray. It'll come in very useful. We have it right there, again with the 7269 from VMC. Alrighty, cool. So if you have questions, drop them in the comment section. If you learned something, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet and want to learn more, click on that subscribe button. And if you want to support this channel, click on that join button. Alrighty, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and that's it for now. Class dismissed.